sun's fierce light, a figure stands tall in the dead of night. Shadows crawl, but he doesn't sway, a sentinel guarding the break of day. Words like fire burn through the air, a defender of dreams and the world's despair. Facing storms with an unyielding grin, the fight for truth always starts within. Stand tall, golden hair in the wind. The tides may rise, but we won't give in. Through the chaos, a beacon so bright, leading us all to the edge of the fight. The world quakes as the battle ignites. Through the smoke, he's a vision of might. Foes gather aiming from every side, but he moves with purpose and endless pride. Try to break him with venom and lies, but he soared like an eagle, piercing the skies. A symbol of hope when the night is long, a melody rising, a defiant song. Stand tall, golden hair in the wind. The tides may rise, but we won't give in. Through the chaos, a beacon so bright, leading us all to the edge of the fight.
Good evening, America. Unless you're watching from California, then maybe not so good. Just kidding. Sort of, it's your favorite president, some say the best ever. And tonight, I've got a few things to say. So grab your popcorn, turn off the fake news, and let's talk about what's really going on. It's going to be good, really good.
Natalie, is Natalie here? Natalie, could you bring up the lights, Natalie? Here we go. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome back to the program, folks. This is Chris live in Central Pennsylvania for our first ever Refugee chat. For those who are curious about the Refugee program, let me address a few things right off the bat that I've been correct about since the very beginning. And if you think I'm full of myself for crowing, that's because all the Johnny-come-latelys and people that think they know what they're talking about are claiming credit for analysis I've done, not for breaking news. Somebody's feelings were hurt because I talked about analysis. Analysis is original thought. And when you take someone's credit, you should be exposed. But anyway, back to the point. So the refugee program for South Africans is not because of crime. It's not because of farms or farm attacks. It's not because of a fake white genocide that the media is perpetuating, but a very real path to genocide that's going on. It's not about any of those things. It's not about any of those things. The executive order issued by President Donald John Trump on the 7th of February, 2025, was for people suffering from unjust racial discrimination. And because the actions of South Africa have harmed the national interest of the United States and our national security, as well as our friends, partners, and allies. That's why the executive order is issued, and that's what the executive order is about. Not about crime. Watching the dog and pony show of Cyril Ramaphosa and his team of fools that went to Washington, D.C. to sit there and try to say, well, especially like Kusatu, well, we're a very violent country. Well, it's nice to see somebody admit that for a change, but it has nothing to do with that. That's not what it's about. Now, that's not to preclude if you're a victim of racial violence, that's different. But the executive orders for listed as Afrikaners suffering from unjust racial discrimination, which is what I said from the beginning. And I said from the 7th of February that I'd hoped and expect that it would include racial minorities or ethnic minorities. And in fact, that's what the program involves. You do not have to be a farmer, Dan Corder. You do not have to be a farmer Peter Dutoy. You don't have to be a farmer, Peter Creel. You don't have to be a victim of crime, John Steenhuisen and Cyril Ramaphosa. You simply need to be an Afrikaner ethnicity or a racial minority suffering unjust racial persecution, whether a past example of it or a legitimate fear of a future one. That's the bottom line. It has nothing to do with anything else. The rest of it's nonsense. If you sent an email between the 7th of February, well, actually the 10th, that's when it started, from the 10th of February until the 12th of May, to express your interest, and you are not part of that 100 group of people who came in for what I called a trial program, a proof of concept, which some cockprodders are now lying about. I have confirmation from the U.S. government that's exactly what the program was, a proof of concept, because we don't do in-country refugee status very often. If you sent an email during that time, you had best make sure you've gone in since May 12th and filled out a statement of interest as well. I cannot confirm that any of those emails are being addressed from that time frame. And to my knowledge, the email is not even being followed anymore. It was for proof of concept. The U.S. government is doing an abysmal job relating what it's doing. It should tell people. Also, when you did the PRM email before, you received an auto reply because it was from an email server. Now you're not getting an auto reply because you're not replying to an email server. You're posting a message on a Google page for the United States government. There's no auto reply. So if you're not getting an auto reply, do not panic if you're interested in the refugee program. That's just the normal course of events. If you sent a PRM email in before and you haven't done a statement of interest, I encourage you to send a statement of interest. You do not have to be a farmer for the 1 billionth time. It is not about farmers. It is not about white South Africans. It is not about Afrikaners, and it never has been. It's about South Africans suffering from unjust racial discrimination, which includes Afrikaners, farmers, Boers, coloreds, Indians, all of them. And for your information, the first cohort was not 49. The false media is still reporting this, was not 49. It was 59. And in that 59, it wasn't all white folks. There was a colored couple there. Yes, a colored couple with colored children and a colored spouse. Yes, but nobody wants to report that. The program is not for white people. It's not for farmers. Stop with the nonsense. It's not for farmers. Okay? And if you're not an Afrikaner, stop moaning. Oh, it's not fair. I can't go. Put your statement of interest in. See what happens. All right. There's my opening comments for this first one ever. Let's go ahead and get to it, folks, and see what comments are in here. I suspect there's going to be a lot of snarkiness going on and people trying to be funny and being cheeky. I'll do my best to see what are real questions and what are not real questions here. So Alexia's here, Merlot, Zella, Marty, Wesley DeClerc, Virtual Western Cape, Ian Moore, Lola Mortimer. Yeah, you'd have to be pretty stupid and lazy not to succeed in America. Damian Schultz, just want to know if the refugee program helps you convert your qualifications from South Africa. Yes, and I have answered that many, many times, Damian. That's exactly what happens. The program has been around for decades, since the Immigration Nationality Act of 1981, and we translate, we pay NGOs, non-government organizations, almost $3 billion per year to provide refugee relocation services around the country, in every state except Hawaii, to my knowledge, around the country, and maybe they do it there, but I don't think they do, because we have nobody going there. And they help you with job services. They help you getting your Social Security number. They help you figure out public transportation, your accommodation, purchasing things, shopping, also translating your qualifications. Thank you for your membership, Kenzie. Translating your stuff into American. I say American because we don't have chartered public accountants. There's no such thing in America. We have certified public accountants. That's different. Same thing, but different title. Somebody must give out memberships. Let me turn that off so we don't get focused on the alerts. Let me turn that off. All right, so we have very different explanations. Most Americans don't know what a curriculum vitae is, a CV. They know what a resume is. Typically, you have a one-page resume for jobs today, which, if you have my background, is impossible to put on one page. So, yeah. So, yes, you get help with that, of course. If you're a air traffic controller, if you're a pilot, if you're an engineer, it will all be translated. Your educational qualifications, your work qualifications will be translated into something that makes sense for Americans. Does that answer your question, Damien? Thank you for your question. All right. Do we need an unabridged birth certificate? To my knowledge, yes, you do, Nolene. I don't know why people are still asking that question. An abridged birth certificate is a useless piece of paper that applies in South Africa. An unabridged birth certificate is a proper birth certificate that normal countries and normal people use. We don't use the term unabridged because we don't have an abridged one. Who would issue a half-assed, half-complete birth certificate? It makes no sense whatsoever. Yes, you need an unabridged birth certificate. What's your take on the talks of World War III? It has nothing to do with refugees. Nothing to do with refugees. This is the refugee conversation. Just like I'm no longer, accommodating non-refugee refugee questions in the news because people are being very disrespectful and rude and asking the questions endlessly. I'm not going to talk about other things at the moment. Monica, if we get through refugee questions and you still want me to answer that question, you can ask it again. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll be forced to take my brats with. Yes, you'll be forced to take your brats with you if you have minor children. Haven't received an unabridged birth or marriage certificate yet. Only passport. My passport's renewal because I got married last year. Okay, Zilly, thank you for sharing. Wesley says, shame, we do love our pets. What's the shame? I'm afraid of flying. Can I go by boat? Not to my knowledge, JP. We are not paying for people to take boats. There's no boats that go between the U.S. and South Africa anyway. You'd have to go to Europe and then go from Europe to the States. I don't even know if any boats are going to Europe. Maybe a Dutch cruise line. I don't know. But no, not to my knowledge. When you're afraid of flying, either get over it or stay in South Africa. Can I bring my pot plants? Of course not, Virtual Western Cape. Stop with the cheekiness. And 13 Freako says to help with qualifications. Says, yep. Hit the like button, says Primal Boar. Please do that. And we're back. Can't stay away. Does every refugee get his or her own caseworker support? No, you don't. You have a family of 7, you have a head of household, you get a caseworker. And it's not a caseworker, it's a refugee agent. They're not caseworkers. We don't have social services set up for refugees. That's why we hire non-government organizations to do it. Crypto Noob is back. Andre Mostart, welcome to you. Okay, good luck, Colonel. He'll need a lot of patience tonight. Okay, I'm almost through the chat. Not any real questions. Oh, here we go. It just jumped a little bit there. I was way behind. Okay, so let me get back here. Whoa. I'm going to wind up missing some questions. I'll try not to. Okay. Okay, there we go. So Digital Clicks by Ella. Thank you for becoming a member. LZ Von Royen says, can you please share the document with possible interview questions? No, I can't. I can't because I don't have it handy. Is one of the mods have it handy? And is it posted somewhere? You have to get it from one of the groups. Okay, one of the mods post it once again in the 2 refugee groups on WhatsApp and into the Telegram group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group on WhatsApp, then you're not going to be able to get in. Let me just take a look and see if there's any openings. I let people in as they come. Here are the groups. 126 requests to join, and it's full. The other one has 56 requests to join, and it's full. They're completely full. Okay? All right, so there you go. So I would recommend you get on Telegram. For those of you who oppose a Telegram, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not creating more refugee groups. I'm not wasting my time. I don't get paid for this. I'm doing this as the goodness of my heart and informing people. There's a restriction of just over 2,000 people per WhatsApp group. That's what's a meta requirement, a meta restriction. But Telegram allows 220,000 people per group. So you should all just go to over there and join us over there. Okay, so... But yeah, the questions, it's a fair question, LZ, but I don't have it handy. Someone else have it handy. Let me see if I can look and see if it's somewhere. Downloads Refugee. Let's see if I doubt. See if it turns up here. What is that? No, that's not it. I don't have it handy, so I don't. Or do I? Hang on. No, I don't. Do not have it. I'll just take questions. Questionnaire. Farm attack. Template. Well, that's it. Yeah, I do have it. I do have it. I do have it. This is what you're talking about, LZ. I think this is what you're talking about. But I called it something else. I have it here. So I think this is what you're talking about. Let me just get it on the screen. Is that what you're talking about? Right there. Following document is a courtesy offering compiled by one of our moderators to assist folks who may be interested in the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Officer. Is this what you're asking for? By the way, a lot of these questions were never asked of refugees. We just came up with stuff that made sense based on interview. Is this what you're looking for? So it's available in the groups. In fact, I will put it right now into the groups. So let's do that. Hang on a second. I will put that into the Telegram group first. Telegram, where's refugees at? So it's put in there. Hang on a second here. Why are the refugee? There it is. U.S. Oh, that's why it's U.S. refugee. Okay, so I'll put that over here now. All right, drop files here. There you go. It's now in the Telegram group, which has 3,000 members. See, we can already exceed what the useless WhatsApp groups let us do. All right. I'll also put it in my What For You groups over here. I'm not putting it in the main ones because I'm not going to, people come back and make false claims against me. I get enough of that crap every day. Okay. It's going over here now too. Okay. So it's in the Refugee groups again. There you go. Please get it from the groups and quit asking for it here. All right. Damien's, well, that doesn't help me, Marley Quinn. Can I answer Damien's question? What was Damien's question? You know, you're asking me something. You don't bother to tell me what your question is, okay? I answered a question from Damien earlier, so I'm not sure what you want me to answer, unless this is an old message. Lived in Los Angeles. It was a great place back then. I met my South Africans here. So sad to see Marxist riots. Yeah, LA sucks. I lived in LA in the 60s. I lived in LA. I've been to LA since then many times. It sucks. Fabian says people should ask serious questions. Yep. Well, they should, or we just won't do this in future. What do we need to go over? Well, what kind of question is that, Bennett? What do you mean by that? I don't understand what your question is. What do you need to go over? You're going to need to be more specific. You get more characters than that. Ask your question. Newbies have to subscribe or Colonel won't answer your questions. Well, you can't ask a question unless you are subscribed. so there you go. Okay. All right. Becker Bosbeer says, what states should you consider once arriving USA? I can't answer that question. I don't know where you're from. I don't know who you are or what you're all about. Are you from the Highveld? Are you from the subtropical regions of KZN? Are you from the Mediterranean climb of the Western Cape? Are you from the Karoo? I mean, how can I possibly answer that question? America is massive. It has every climate you can imagine, from rainforest to deserts. So I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, hey, Copy, how's it going? I mean, you're going to be more specific there, Becker. That doesn't make any sense, your question to me. Okay, you cannot, okay. What do you think the chances that they will process green card applications faster than South African groups? I don't think they'll process them any faster. Why would they process your green cards faster? Digital clicks. Why would we put South Africans to the front of the queue over everybody else who've applied for a green card? Not going to happen. When Discovery ID card took 13 days, passport 10 days. I feel the refugee program will end after Trump's term. And if only a small number of refugees are getting interviews and leaving, most of us we left out. Well, Barry, you can feel what you want, but your comments are based on nothing factual. It's your feelings. That's your feelings. So you may be right about the program ending after Trump leaves office, but Trump's in office for 3.5 more years. That's not enough time for you to get over here. A small number of refugees are getting interviews. How do you know only a small number of refugees? You did put an if there. You used the subjunctive, so you don't know a small number of people getting interviews, and you don't know a small number of people leaving. Do you know the third and fourth groups already arrived? Do you know that? You probably don't, Barry. I'm not attacking you. You're making supposition that's not founded in any facts. Janine Scene says we need to boost this channel. Thank him for everything he's doing. Well, thank you. Please help me grow the channel, but it's not growing fast enough. Freedom and not being discriminated against will be more than important. Yep. Any news from Thea? Yes, Bennett's Global Evening. She's got herself a car. She's got an apartment. She's got job interviews. And she's got a Social Security number. She's off and running. And not even 30 days. She hasn't even been here 30 days. Under 30 days, she did all that. Do you think they will definitely contact you? And for what reason would they pass you? Well, of course they'll contact you. They have a moral obligation to contact you. Why would they pass over you, Sean? Where do you get that conclusion from? Do I have any good news for you tonight? Yeah, the fact I'm doing this session, answering questions from people that I've answered 1 billion times before, I think that's good news. So many of my friends have been contacted. We applied last week due to more aggression towards us. Well, there you go, Michelle Kingsley. See, there's anecdotal evidence that lots of people have been contacted. Neville Chappie Fisagi says, will the refugee be able to apply for vehicle finance once permanently employed? You can apply for vehicle finance anytime you want, but without a credit history, you ain't getting squad. And Neville, you're not going to have a credit history when you arrive here. We've covered this previously, but it's a good question. You're not going to have a credit history. In order to get credit, you have to have a credit history. And I don't want to hear, oh, I've worked for 40 years. It doesn't matter. South Africa's credit ratings are not tied. If you live in the UK, live in the US, Canada, your credit ratings can carry over back and forth, but not Germany, not Switzerland, not South Africa. You don't have that system worked out. So you start from bottom and you build a credit rating. And, but a lot of these car dealerships they hand out credit cards to college students who have no visible source of income. So getting a credit card shouldn't be that hard. Establishing credit is pretty easy. Arctic, who's been absent today, must be busy flying somewhere. Arctic is a South African pilot who has a residency card here in the States, works here in America, flies private jets around. And Arctic has suggested the way to do this is go to Walmart, get one of those prepaid credit cards, and then use it. You can't spend more than you put on it, so you establish a credit history because it's a credit card essentially, even though it's like a debit card. So not tied to a bank account. So that's one way to do it. But yeah, it's a good question. Thank you for asking it, but you'll have no credit history. Having a job and having your income might help. I don't know. I'm not the bank, but the car dealerships also offer financing. You get all these things all the time. 0% financing for 12 months or 1.9% financing for qualified buyers. So I can't answer it. I know that Thea's got a car, and I'll tell you this, her car is newer than mine by 7 years. The refugees are doing better than I am. The refugees are doing better than I am. Oh, my goodness. So, Neville, hope that answered your question. See, those are the kind of questions we're here to answer as best we can. Problems in Peter Maritzburg, okay? Not sure what's going on. Oh, people running towards Durban. Ha, 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 Jaretha. I heard about that. Thousands of them. Okay, Jaden gave 10 memberships. So I have a question. My passport expires next year. Do I have to renew it for the program or will it be okay? Well, you're going to have to renew your passport at some point, but no, you're not going to have to renew it now if it expires next year. I wouldn't bother with it. Hopefully you will have been contacted and you will be put in a queue and then you'll be able to get out. But if you have to wait a year and it expires, then you're going to have a problem. So, play it by ear, be my recommendation. Also, both my parents passed away. Do I need their death certificate? I have no idea if you need a death certificate for your parent. Why would you need a death certificate for your parent? Where did that come from? I've heard someone else say that. Why would you need that? That's not something we've been told. So I don't know why you need it. But you definitely need a divorce certificate and a marriage license. If you've been married multiple times, you're going to need those. And you're going to need your birth certificate. Yep. Do you have any idea how many people in a third group? No, that one I don't know, Vale. I have no idea. Why are you guys worried about a group? How long does it take one to get a job and settle on your own rental? Well, how useless and lazy are you, Yanni Bosov? I'm just teasing. I mean, how long does it take to get a job? There's no timeline of getting a job. There's 13 million jobs begging for people to fill them right now. So the problem is you have to have a Social Security number. It took about 2 weeks for Thea to get her Social Security number after she arrived. She's got it, but you can't work without a Social Security number unless you're a criminal alien invader brought here illegally by the Biden regime and allowed to work, stealing someone else's Social Security number. But if you're a legitimate refugee coming in on this program, you will apply for a Social Security number. Once you have it, then you can get a bank account, then you can get utilities, then you can buy cars, then you can do all kinds of things. So, yeah, I'm not trying to be flippant with you, Yanni, but how long does it take to get a job? If you came here, I could give you a job today. Can you cook? We need cooks at the VFW. Pays more than minimum wage. Give you a job tomorrow. No benefits, but can't afford the benefits. We can give you a job. And you can do that for a few weeks till you find something better. Anyway, setting your own rental home. Well, in the case of Thea and most of the refugees, they were in their own home within 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I hope I answered your question, Yanni. Okay. No, the bank doesn't do passports, Irene LaRue. Let's clarify this very quickly. The banks do not do passports in South Africa. The banks offer a process for you to submit the paperwork instead of standing in a queue at Home Affairs. And then they transmit the stuff electronically and it gets taken care of. So a lot of people prefer to go to banks because they don't stand in line at the freaking Home Affairs for 19 hours. Particularly now that you're white and you're being targeted by people at Home Affairs. So that's what banks do. But they don't issue the stuff. It's still issued by Home Affairs. Hello from Strand. Hey! Well, Vita from Jansa van Rensburg says, my statement of interest was my Gmail. However, my primary address is different. Will that be a problem? No, you just have to check your Gmail. You just have to check your Gmail. Bennett says, I filled in the application yesterday. Well, it's a statement of interest. I really hope myself and my family. Well, Bennett, that's great, but realize that it's been almost a month and you're probably behind about 100,000 people right now. So be patient. Why is Jaden Brown a legend? Oh, for giving the memberships. Okay. Can you change your name to a more U.S. friendly one and get social ID? Why would you want to change your name, Reno Duplessis? We have Duplessis in this country. We have fundamentals in this country. Why would you want to change your name? Why would you change your heritage? And look, I get that. I mean, I know Casey Kasem, kept his name. I get people changing names, especially a lot of Arabs trying to blend in. But why would you want to? Why would you want to change your surname in a majority European, Anglo-Saxon, Germanic country? Why would you want to change your name? You blend in better with that name than change it to something. I wouldn't do that. Why would you want to change that? And you can change your name, but you have to pay lawyers. That's a very difficult process. The only way to change your name legally is go through the courts, unless you enlist in the military, and then you can change it. They'll change it for you. Brendan Alexander, welcome to Shani Wasserman. I registered, but I've heard nothing up till now. What should I do? Nothing. You're not going to hear anything until they contact you. That's just how it works, unfortunately, Shani. They don't give you, because you're filling out a Google form, there's no auto reply, so you don't get that. And they'll contact you when they contact you. It's as simple as that. I would just recommend people go about their lives, continue their lives, and if you get a phone call, be excited. Meantime, make sure you have unabridged birth certificates, marriage certificates, divorce certificates, and passports that are valid. Get your life in order. Does that answer your question, Shani? What's your view on how long a hardworking person will take to get a job in the U.S.? Francois, that question was answered a few minutes ago. It will take you a day a day. Is the actual transfer of refugees going to pick up pace? Seems very slow. So, well, based on what, Nevanel? Based on what? Based on propaganda media in South Africa? What are you basing your pace on? I'm curious about this. A lot of people talk about the slow pace. How many people have come to America? Do you know? Do you know how many waves have come here? How many flights have had people on it? No, you don't. You don't know. And you shouldn't know. It's nobody's damn business. So, will the pace pick up? 16 scared to remove from school. Well, Lana, people do this every day all over the world. They pick up and move to another part. What about those freaking, illegals from Mexico and from all over the Turkmenistan who go to Central America and march all the way up the border, destroy their documents when they get into America, and then come here with their 16 or 14, 15-year-old kids? What are you worried about? What are you worried about? I don't understand, Lana. I don't understand what you're worried about. Scared to remove from school. Why? Why are you scared to move from school? Don't you want a proper education for him? Alan McGonigal gave 70 Rand Super Chat. Thank you for that. Will the spat between Elon Musk? No, it has no impact. Once again, stop. Again, I made a video on this. Stop believing the nonsense that South African politicians and the media have been telling you since February. Elon Musk is not what's driving this program. Elon Musk is not the one informing the president. 19 federal intelligence agencies form the president every day, including the CIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the State Department. The list goes on and on and on. President Trump is fully informed about what's going on in South Africa. He's not making decisions based on what Elon Musk tells him. No. If he'd been making his decision what Elon Musk told him, then folks, there would have been a refugee program announced before he became president, or from November, not waiting till February 7th. What happened between November and February 7th? What event took place? Cyril Ramaphosa lied to the world and undermined democracy in South Africa. Now, how did he do that? Well, he signed the expropriation without compensation bill in December. And then with great fanfare at Davos, fake signed the document. But the 30 days that are expired, which allows 1/3 of Parliament to go to the Constitutional Court to have that law reviewed and have it overturned. If within 30 days, 1/3 of the members of Parliament go. And they could have gotten 1/3, but they needed Bosa to do it. So Cyril Ramaphosa undermined democracy, and nobody's upset about that. But he signed this allowing the government to expropriate property without compensation. That's what changed. That's why Trump signed the executive order, not because of Elon Musk. If it was because of Elon Musk, it would have been talked about last year. It would have been talked about in November, or after he won the election in December, January. It wasn't until February 7th, after Ramaphosa hoodwinked the world. So it has nothing to do with Elon Musk. Y'all need to get past that. Thank you for the 70 Rand, Alan. Charlie Gehrig already answered the question several times in this broadcast. Why do people come in here and ask the same questions over and over again? What documentation do you require? You need a passport, an unabridged birth certificate, marriage certificates, not death certificates, and divorce certificates. Just my thought, the U.S. government will still work the bugs or programs or proof concepts still underway. Maybe, Martin, but not to my knowledge. Otherwise, they wouldn't have announced the program on the 12th of May. The program was announced officially on the 12th of May. Since the 12th of May, you can go there, and let's just cover that. So before we get to any more questions, let's cover that. Okay, so, righty, here it is. Here's how you apply, folks. ZAUSembassy.gov, okay? Look it up. I think there's a dot in there after the ZA. Anyway, U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. Click on that. There you go. And 12th of May, 2025, while I was at OR Tambo, this is when this was released, and it gives you who's eligible right there. And if you want a statement of interest, you click on it right here. There you go. And that's a piece of cake. Okay? Simple as that. That is the program. Now, the program, as I've tried to tell the idiots in South Africa don't know what they're talking about, is from February 7th from the White House. Here it is, an executive order. This is what prompted it. February 7th. By authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, hereby order as follows. And it says exactly what's going on here. It says why. The rest of the egregious actions of South Africa. Yep. Something's not right here. Anyway, February 7th, he addressed it. So there it is. There's the executive order. Okay. So, nothing there. Okay. So just my thought. Okay. Skulk, then it should be easy to answer questions in the interview, as you just stated. Yeah, it should be easy to answer questions in the interview. Thank you for clarifying that. I think all the confusion arises because we only hear what white Afrikaners around you say and not the next group of South Africans. Shelley, yeah, no, well, they weren't just white Afrikaners. There were coloreds in the first group. But nobody's reporting on that. I've got multiple confirmations of that. Thank you for all your time dedication to this program. Is there a list of questions in the first round? Oh my gosh, Everyday Alchemy. I've already shared that in this broadcast and talked about it. But that was from 12/12. So, I'm way behind the chat, so apologies for that. I'm just trying to get all the questions. If someone has a DUI, will this disqualify them? Not necessarily about learning African, not necessarily. Do you have a history of DUIs? That'll probably disqualify you, but no. It's a refugee program. It shouldn't disqualify you. It's not a violent crime. On a birthday, if they need your parents' IDs, both mine passed away. Why do they need your parents' IDs? How would you have your parents' IDs? That the question doesn't make any sense, Varoshka. How would you have your parents' IDs? I don't understand that. Where do you get that from? No. Wesley, my CV is 14 pages and it's not even complete. I haven't updated it 4 years. Eyes of Fontainers are waiting patiently. Okay. Good evening. Worked in USA previously and obtained Social Security number. Would this be beneficial? It isn't beneficial at all to get here, but it will be beneficial when you arrive. Andre Labaskakni, if you already have a Social Security number and you've got your card, when you arrive here, you'll be able to go apply for work right away. If you already worked in the U.S., you may be already have a credit rating. Just check with the credit bureau when you get here. It's free. Would you suggest any online sites that we can do for our current qualifications that would be acceptable? It's a lot of online. I don't suggest any, Andrea. Just get the help when you get here from the refugee relocations, folks. That's what I recommend. On a U.S. resume, you also do not need to put any race. Correct. You're correct. You're forbidden from putting that stuff on here. It's illegal. Do you know how many people will be sent over each month? No, I don't, Anonymous. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. Irrespective of whether they're recipients of government tenders, and economists explain it as follows: as audience, one-man business supplying. Thank you for standing straight and providing us all the relevant info that we need. The U.S. government should be paying you consulting fees. Yeah, you all should be paying consulting fees. I mean, I did the math before I left in April to go to the States from February, March, and the first couple weeks of April. It was already over $140,000 of consulting revenue that I had not gotten for doing what I did. Now, if I throw in what I've done in May and the 5 hours I worked each of these damn meet and greets, 17 to 18 meet and greets, I was there for 4 or 5 hours. You throw in those consultancy fees, $500,000 an hour times 17. Yeah. Let's do the math on that. If I cut you a slack and only charge you $500 an hour for my consulting time, $500 times 4 hours, because some were 5 or 6 hours, times 4 hours is 2,000 times 18 meet and greets. That's another $36,000 that I didn't charge anybody just for my time in South Africa when I did this. If our environment gets more dangerous, the U.S. evacuate us. No, there's no evacuation going on, Refuge. You just have to move to a safe place. I don't anticipate that. Is there a website we can brush up on submitting taxes in the U.S.? Why are you worried about submitting taxes, no one? You're not even working here. Worry about taxes when you get here. You can go to the IRS. You can download software, and But I mean, brushing up on your taxes is something. The laws change every year. Every one of us has to brush up every single year because all the rules change every year. Talita says, I'm asking for someone I know that wants to go, but now he's a criminal record from when he was 17 years old. It's been 16 years. It could affect his record. Is he a murderer, a rapist, a pedophile? It could very well affect his application. If he has a criminal record for, theft or shoplifting or something like that. He was 17 years old. He's a minor. It may not affect it. You just have to be honest with the interviewers, folks. I'm shocked at how many South Africans have criminal records. A lot of you white South Africans have criminal records and coloreds. You really do. I'm shocked at it. Really shocked. The number of people that approach me with criminal records is just shocking. People need to research regarding qualifications. Okay. How long did it take to contact you? We don't know, Bennett. No one knows. 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 You've probably answered this before, but did 59 get vetted by... No. That's fake news. The South African government has nothing to say about this program. It is none of their damn business. This is a sovereign U.S. program governed by the Immigration Nationality Act of 1980, not by South African communists, not by the ANC, not by the GNU, not by anybody in South Africa. And anybody in South Africa tells you otherwise is full of crap. You don't get vetted by the government that's oppressing you. It doesn't even pass the common sense test. The U.S. government vetted these people, and that's all that matters. Type 1 diabetic. Why would that count against you, Martin? We've got millions of diabetics in this country. There's nothing to do with your diabetes. It has to do with your life being in jeopardy. Reno Kutza, when you get what the hell are you saying? When you get granted refugee, how much time will they give you before you need to depart? Oh, right. I think what you're asking is if you're granted refugee status, how long do you get? Well, it depends on how you answer the question. You notice on that statement of interest, if you filled it out, they ask you, can you go in 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, or longer than a year? That's what they ask you. Depending on how you answer, it may affect that, okay? So, if you tell them you can't leave for 6 months, then you won't leave for 6 months. If you say I can leave in 30 days, you got a passport, you got all your documentation, boom, then they'll get you going, all right? So I don't know the answer to that question. Every case is separate, Reno. Every case is separate. Every case is individual. So I can't answer your question unless I'm in the program processing it, and I'm not. Greta says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Depending on how many people do the interviews and how many get applied, nobody can say it would take 3 months. Okay. I have 1 bar of cell phone reception. The chance of me missing a call is massive. They're supposed to email you as well, Angelique, but I can't tell you how they're going to do that for sure. What is Congress and USA Parliament commenting about USA? There is no USA Parliament, Michelle Kingsley. There's Congress. There's the House of Representatives and the Senate. And there's currently 2 pieces of legislation in the House which were introduced, which are really going nowhere. One by Representative Ronnie Jackson, former Navy surgeon who was the physician for Obama and for Trump, and now a congressman from Texas' 13th Congressional District, he's renewed the bill from last year that didn't pass, in which they want to review the relationship with South Africa with an eye towards sanctioning South African leaders and members of the ANC. That's out there. And then there's another one put forward by Troy Nehls, another Texas congressman, to create a program specifically for white South Africans to escape South Africa. There's no need for that program. We already have law that does that. So that's all that Congress has to say about it. Not much beyond that. Okay. BE is not limited to only who you employ, but also BE has nothing to do with this, Rex. Nothing to do with it. BE is not a factor here, unless you present that as something that's preventing you from being treated fairly. Okay, I've applied for my unabridged birth certificate. I don't know if it'll be ready. But I do have a passport. Well, Vale, I don't know how that'll be handled. I mean, I don't know that you need a birth certificate to come here. Frankly, folks, you just need a passport to come to America. So I don't know the answer and why the refugee program would want to see a birth certificate. I don't know that they do, other than the fact that you need a birth certificate on this side to do many things. So maybe that's why they tell you need a birth certificate. I don't know the answer on that. Don't know the answer. So just play it by ear. Lindy, after your statement of interest, will officials interviewing you be referring to the email sent to the PRM email address to get an idea of who you are? I have no idea, Lindy. I have no idea. Those people that they put in the first cohort, there were about 40 people that didn't travel the first time. I suspect those people, they will still handle it. I know of at least some people that were supposed to go, they didn't have passports, they weren't able to go. They're waiting to depart now, unless they depart in the last couple of days. I haven't heard from them recently. So why is this thing, what's going on over here? It's spinning over here. What's going on? My webpage is locked up. And what is going? YouTube is doing this. It's had a lot of problems, and now it's back to the problems it had before with the studio not working properly. Apply for unabridged birth. Okay, I got that. Okay, a competent administration wouldn't let a big-time drug addict rummage through their defense budgets and everyone's personal data. Amber, thank you for your uninformed opinion. This is a refugee program conversation. I've warned you about this. So, way back, 214. My chat is locked up now. There we go. All right, so I've missed a number of questions here because my chat locked up. Sorry about that, folks. If one of the mods is here and you see Amber, give Amber a timeout for misbehaving. I've already warned Amber about that in previous things. Amber is a hate wanker. Okay, so I've missed some chat here, folks, that went on. So why do I need an unabridged birth certificate? The waiting time. Why, Mark? Because we don't accept bullshit birth certificates from South Africa that don't have parents' information on it. If you don't like it, then don't put a statement of interest in. I think I've answered the question as best I can about why they need it. I don't know that you need to travel. I've never heard of you don't need birth certificate to travel, but you're not going to be able to do anything on this side. Banks facilitate ID and passport. Birth certificate got lost in the move. Oh, that sucks. Apply for unabridged. Got told 3 months. Okay. Luba. Okay. Could you elaborate on the basic arrival trainings and seminars we must complete? There are no trainings and seminars. What are you talking about? There are no trainings and seminars. You get there, and then you have refugee relocation agent who answers your questions, helps you out. They take you to your place. Someone picks you up at the airport. They take you. Your cupboard is stocked full of food, and then they take you to get your social security number. I'm not sure. There's no briefings. There's no trainings. Beyond the mainstream, you're welcome. Is there a link to Telegram? Can one of my mods put the Telegram link up there, please? My son is autistic. Somebody told me that because of that, it won't be allowed. That's horseshit, Kim. If that person told you that's an idiot, they're an absolute idiot. There's no truth to it whatsoever. We've got a lot of autistic people in this country. Business closed down 5 months ago. 15 years away on manufacturing factory. Now busy liquidating. Many reasons. Okay, thank you, JP Shrives. Shiny Vossman says, thank you. Documents in order. Okay, the one you were registered when you filled in the form. I don't know what that is. Can I invest in business opportunity in the U.S. without jeopardizing possible refugee status? How would that jeopardize your refugee status? Of course you can invest in business U.S. I can invest in South Africa. If I was dumb enough, it wouldn't affect my status here. It won't affect your refugee status. Are you allowed to start any job when landing? Of course. No, you have to wait for a social security number. You can't work without a social security number. Otherwise, you're an illegal alien. And all you can get is, side of the road pickup by, illegal employers. You have to have a social security number to work. Unfortunately, everything's based off that. Applied a while ago. Does that make me less eligible for contact if I'm alone? I have no idea what you're talking about there, VDDA. You applied a while ago. I don't know what a while ago. What is a while ago? You couldn't have applied a while ago. It's only been 3 weeks. The program's only been open since May 12th, so I don't know what a while ago to you is. Does it make me less eligible to contact if I'm alone? I don't understand. Alone? Alone what? You're single? Has nothing to do with anything. Lana Ritz, you're welcome. Here are the states that have no income tax. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wyoming. No. Was Washington have no income tax? You sure about that? Yep. You need a divorce certificate. Yes. Yes, you need a divorce certificate. If you're divorced, you need a divorce certificate. Yep. Interviews held in Pretoria only. I don't know the answer, Raylene Yasmin. As I said, if I ran the program, they would be held in a number of cities around South Africa. To my knowledge, every interview has taken place in Pretoria so far. If you can't make it, I guess you don't get to go. Hopefully they'll fix that, but I don't have an answer for you. I think removing kids from school is possibly related to the Bella Act. Parents can be locked up. No, stop, Vossi. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Removing kids. If you keep your kids at home and don't attend school and you're living in South Africa, then they can come out after you, the Bell Act. If you're moving abroad, if you have a job offered to you in Dubai and you're leaving and your kids are coming with you, they can't. And besides, you're gone. So what would the Bell Act have to do with you? You're no longer governed by the Bell Act. You're abroad. They have no idea where your kids are at. I mean, I don't understand the question there, the point there. Home Affairs has an office in the bank, so you can complete the application. There you go. CJ, my father's details of my unabridged birth certificate is blank. They asked me about him. I don't know him, so I kept it blank. All right, there you go. Well, look, CJ, what I said about, bullshit forms is that we don't make forms which you don't put the parents on. All of them have parents. If the parent's unknown, then it's unknown. Obviously, the mother is known, but the father isn't many times. 78% of black children born in this country are born illegitimately. 45% of Hispanic children are born illegitimately, 25% of white children are born illegitimately, and 9% of Asian children. So we got lots of experience with people opening their legs at the wrong place, the wrong time, and suffering the consequences of it. Or maybe the joy, whichever you consider. Liquidation process, and why would liquidation, it has nothing to do with anything. Are you talking about a court case, JP Shrives? You're not being very clear. Liquidation, you're selling your business. I mean, the drugstore down the street here is going out of business. They're liquidating. All this stuff is 40%, 50% off. I don't understand. Are you saying that you have a court case? You have an ongoing court proceeding? That's not going to stop you. The U.S. doesn't care if you've got financial issues or debt back there in South Africa. Now, they might try to come after you in the U.S. if it's big enough, but we don't care. There is no refugee arrival training. Why do you guys keep the training? What do you think you're being indoctrinated in the military? There's no training. No training. You just have people that help you. Okay. With what email do they send you an email? John, why are you asking that question? What do you mean, what email? It comes from a U.S. government email address. Thank you for everything you do. I've been following you for a while and just want to say thank you. Monica, you're very welcome. My pleasure. Can I take my little money with me? Okay, Gideon, are you being silly? Your little money? What is your little money? 1 Rand coins? Is that your little money? What do you mean by little money? Can you take what little money you have? Of course you can take money. You can bring $10,000 an equivalent into the U.S. without declaring it. Anything beyond that, you must declare. I've got a very good help at Home Affairs in Durban. Cool. Okay. That bill, and he just said BE is necessary and won't change. Fabian Bridger, we are waiting for permission of my stepchild's biological father for her to go over. Can I go over alone while my wife? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Fabian. You get up to a year to sponsor them to come over under the law. 35 Rand. Thank you for that. Good question. Neil DeBeer said that time will tell when asked by if he thinks program will be scrapped. Well, I mean, I don't know the context of that, Geo, so I can't comment. I don't know what Neil and Chris said. I have no idea. I can't comment on that. I think we're all on the edge hoping to get the call approved. Our family are already doing research in American English school system. Cool. Thank you, Mustard Olive Coaching. Refugee status, can you travel between states? Roland Meyer, there's no borders. You'll just see a sign when you travel from Pennsylvania to Maryland. Welcome to Maryland. Welcome to Pennsylvania. There's no borders. You can go anywhere in the United States. And contrary to a so-called Canadian immigration consultant who lied about this program and called it asylum a few months ago on on Newsroom Africa, and then Newsroom Africa lied about what I said the following week, or in that broadcast actually. There you can travel abroad. Yeah, as a refugee, you can travel abroad. You can go to Canada, you can go to the UK, but you can't settle there. You can just go there for a visit. Not sure if I should just try going and gain your okay. You need your parents' names and ideally their ID numbers, obviously your own details. Okay. Alan McGonigal, congratulations on 100,000 subs and answering my question. If we were to get the opportunity to go, how can we contact you to update everyone on the progress? Oh, well, Alan, you can reach out to me through an email, or you can reach out to me through the WhatsApp or Telegram groups, which are out there. So the email is available on the channel. It's allaboutafrica2021@gmail.com. I'm way behind on emails. But yeah, I'd appreciate that, Alan, if you want to share. Not everybody wants to share their information. I can protect your identity too if you come over here. We can do a Zoom session where I rename your who you are and keep you off camera and just hear your voice if you want to do that. But yeah, a lot of people appreciate that. The interviews with Thea, with Santana, and with Jan Amariki, people were really grateful for that. So would you by any chance know if the DHS system they receive? No, but my presumption would be that'd be the case. First come, first serve. But I don't know. What about people retired? They won't be able to work anymore. Is that a statement or question? You've asked a question on a link and then you put a statement inside of it. So are you telling me people retired won't be able to work? There's laws against age discrimination in this country. You can work in this country. Are you saying they're physically unable? That's different than the Social Security supplemental and other income. DJ Charles, would you by any chance know if the process... Okay, I think I just went. Joy Boyle, Kentucky has a lower cost of living, but they have horrible tornadoes. Delia Bielefeld, 99 Rand, thank you. We have active threats against our lives and have been facing intense persecution since 2021. 12th May. I don't want you to die there either, Delia. 12th May. Well, smart of you to finish it on 12th May. I don't know if they've contacted you yet. Telegram name. Oh, good God. Where the freaking moderators here? No single moderator here helping out. Good God. Thanks, guys. You don't get paid for this, but it would be helpful if you joined us here. Hang on, guys. I'll try to get you the information. Add members. Get link. Copy link. Okay, here's the Telegram link, folks, because obviously my mods aren't doing it, or I'm way behind and they've done it already and I missed it. So my apologies if I'm wrong. So there's the link for the Telegram group if you want to join the Telegram. Okay. Michelle Heath, 35 Rand. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. It's divorced 2001. Husband died. No minor kids. I still need divorce. Yep. Because you've had name changes. You've had name changes. And if you haven't had a name change, you got to prove you haven't had a name change because it's normal for women to change their name from their married name to their maiden name. Yep, so you're going to have it most likely, Leon. Doesn't matter. They have to do research on you. Some of the questions people ask me and answer so many times. Yes, Mornay, but we did say we're doing this for refugee questions many times. All right, try another home affairs, says Rentia Shepard Kruger. If you have a barcoded ID, yep. Lizette Botta, Chris, we live in the USA, receive, what's an SSC? What is an SS? I don't know what an SSC. Social Security card? Yes, it's valid for your entire life. Social Security numbers do not expire. Do you know when a Social Security number expires, folks? I can tell you when a Social Security number expires. Upon your death. When you die, that number's retired. Until then, it's active. I don't care if you live in Timbuktu, in Nepal, in the Free State, all remote locations. The number dies with you. It's your number. It's yours. So if you've got that already, Lizette, that's great. That's great. You're going to be able to get a bank account. In fact, you can get a bank account now if you want. You can go online and apply for a bank. If you have a U.S. mailing address, woo, baby. Or if you've got a friend with a U.S. mailing address, you got a Social Security number, you can apply for a bank account now. You're already ahead of the game, Lizette. Yep, I could recommend, Capital One has an online thing. They pay bank. Bank America. There's a couple of them on there. Divorce certificates, will my decree of divorce be okay? I have no idea, Heinrich Fiss. I don't know the answer on that. The link to Telegram I've just put up. And once again, for the fifth time, the question about refugee training. Stop posting the same question. Neil Fundameva says they are saying a third group is nearly ready to go. Is that true? Who is they, Neil? Who is they? Andrea Jackson, Colonel, any online sites to suggest us update our qualifications? No, I don't have any. Working property, I'd like to know and being credited. Well, if you're in real estate, every state has different rules and requirements. So unless you're going to unless you know where you're going, that's not particularly helpful. Are you going to research 50 states? Well, 49 because you're not going to Hawaii. I don't recommend that. That's mind-boggling. Yeah. So if you have a state in mind, or if you have an indication you might go to a certain place because you have family or a job offer there, there's nothing. I don't recommend any sites, Andrea. Thank you for the 70 Rand. Never heard about divorce certificate. Our courts issue divorce decree. Okay, whatever it is, guys. Certificate, decree, call it whatever you want. Piece of paper, it says you're divorced. When you apply for unabridged birth certificate, the reason you use is for traveling purposes. Oh, for the application, yeah. Yes, Tristan, I got a haircut a few days ago. Thank you. Do you think it will be 3 interviews? No, I don't think it'll be 3 interviews, Tennis. That was for the proof of concept. There's no reason to do 3 interviews. Will you consider specific location that the interview based on jobs and our skill set? Nope, they won't, Alexa, not to my knowledge. Again, folks, you get placed in the States by Homeland Security in a place we have the absorptive capacity where we can accommodate people. Unlike the criminal Biden regime that dumped millions of people in our neighborhoods and upset the social cohesion of our communities like Springfield, Illinois, where they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. 19,000 frickin' Haitians dumped in a town of 40,000. Unacceptable. 19,000, bullshit. So you won't be put someplace like that. So your skills probably have no impact. You can ask. You can suggest, I'm a coder. Can I go to Austin, Texas? Whatever. You can ask. But it isn't anything to do with that. This is not a jobs program, folks. Let's get this out of our heads here. That's not what she was asking. But this is not a jobs program. This isn't, I like the beaches. I like the mountains. Nobody gives a crap what you like. You're being granted the opportunity, the greatest gift possible, to live in the best nation in the world, the greatest experiment in humankind, generously offered by President Trump, because your life is in jeopardy. Not for any other reason. Not for any other reason. If you have skills and you put them to use when you come here, awesome. Awesome. If you don't have skills, then hopefully you can learn some here. Take chances, not interested in the noise around this fake MSM. Hey, Jacques. Prime Board, I just want to clarify, as a refugee, you have the right to travel out of the USA for work. Did not say that, Primal Boar. I did not say that. I did not say that. I said you can visit. Visit does not work. You have a right to reside in the United States. You're not prohibited from traveling to other countries. You are not allowed to go back to your origin because your life is in jeopardy. Does that make sense? You said work. I didn't say work, Primal Boar. Cash, you will have to go and exchange to dollars. If you have money in the bank, depending on what bank, you can use your bank card to buy in U.S. So Henry Fouché, do you really think that you're going to be keeping your bank accounts in South Africa active when you're over here? Maybe. Maybe not. What a foolish way to do things, especially when the brand collapses. Erica! How's it going? Can your South African driver's license be converted to U.S. state license once permanently settled? Can you drive with international? You cannot drive. Well, you can drive with international driver's license, but why bother? You don't need it. South Africans can drive on their South African license here in America. We accept them, to my knowledge. You will be able to convert your South African license to the state you're in. Some states have different rules. They might not accept it. Most will accept it. You go. Some may say, okay, you just have to take the test, the laws test. Some say you won't have to take the test. Some say you have to drive. But odds are you probably won't have to drive or take the written test. You probably just convert your driver's license over. But we have 50 states and 4 territories. Everyone has different rules. I was active duty military for 34 years, and I had an Ohio driver's license. I now have a Pennsylvania license. I lived in Pennsylvania for 4 years as an Ohio resident. If I lived here, not in the military, I would have been breaking the law, because as a living physically in Pennsylvania, after 60 days you're a resident, and without converting my Ohio to Pennsylvania driver's license, I could have been cited and paid a fine if pulled over. However, I was in a special category as active duty military. We're exempt from that. We're not forced to change our driver's license every time we move. We vote in the same place back in our home state, Ohio. So, or if you're from California. So, when I retired in October of 2019, 3 weeks later, I took my driver's license and converted my driver's license to Pennsylvania. Didn't take a test, didn't take a driving test, converted. You should be fine. No one seems to know the link to Telegram name. I've already placed the Telegram link in there. Is this old comment from a while ago? Let me put it in there again. There's the Telegram link once again. Okay, there you go. All right, okay. Yeah, I don't know where my moderators are. There's Hendo. Okay, there's a moderator finally. Divorce certificate is divorce decree from court where divorce is finalized. Just check this. Just stressing is to spend a few hours in the queue. Okay, you have to have either your parents unabridged. Okay, thank you, Utopi. Well, how do you get that if you don't have that information? ZA said he quit updating his CV 30 years ago. Parents' IDs, numbers, okay. See, this American English, South African English, charter public accounts. No, we have certified public accounts. Birth certificate, unabridged birth certificate, divorce decree. We have divorce decrees. So, but you guys are the ones saying certificate. That's where I got that nonsense from. We don't have that. We have a divorce decree here. It's a court judgment. So people were saying they had divorce. I don't know. I haven't married anybody in South Africa and certainly haven't divorced anybody in South Africa. Or anything more, perhaps whether they have more locations. I have not, Janine. I don't know. I don't know. I would do it differently. There would be plenty. And there's the refugee arrival question again. Mr. Echo, you're going to get blocked. That's like the 9th time you put it in there. And I've answered it. Details supplied in the it's not a declaration of intent. It's a statement of interest. I believe that there's not enough info supplied for any pre-check to be done on individuals. Really, Venom? You don't think there's enough information from there? So you don't think that I can check your background simply with your phone number, your name, and your email address? Are you an experienced investigator, Venom? Are you an experienced investigator? Have you conducted legal investigations in the past? I have. federal law enforcement officer right here. I've done background investigations. I've done counterintelligence investigations. I've done terrorist investigations. I've done criminal investigations. That's enough information for me to conduct an investigation. Hendrik says, thank you for patience. You're welcome. You get married more than once, you need a divorce decree for each marriage. Correct. Serious question here. If a person was divorced 35 years, then remarried, then divorced again, yes, you do. You do. Consulting fees. There are no consulting fees. You're talking about my consulting fees. That's from a long time ago I was chatting. I got a Social Security card when I did au pair, but lost it. That was only for temporary. Social Security numbers are not temporary. They're forever. Can they trace it for me? Yes, Loretta. Contact Social Security Administration. Go to Social Security website. Give me your information. See if you can get I don't know how it works. I've never lost my Social Security number or my card. I've been carrying it since I was 16 years old. So I don't. I have a Social Security card. But anyway, that number is for life. They're not going to issue another one. I mean, a voice of reason. People need to calm down and do more research. Yes, Renee, they do. Do I need a divorce decree if I married the same man again? Yes, as far as I know, you do. The thing of nouns, 14 Rand. Efforts appreciated. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for all the information shared. If allowed in USA as a refugee, do you know what the tax implications will be in South Africa? I don't know the reciprocal tax agreements for South Africa. I don't know the answer for that. We had a person who was going to come on and talk about that, but a horrible leftist hate wanker who has got a severe mental instability, lives in Amsterdam and South Africa in the Garden Route, attacked those people and falsely claimed that they were going to lose their business license. So they backed out of the conversation. So I had an expert to talk about that. I can't do that now. So I may do it again with someone anonymously, but I don't have an answer for you. That I don't know South African tax law. I know that as an American, if I work abroad, I can exclude X amount of money up to a certain amount. I think it's $112,000, $138,000. But that doesn't prevent me from paying taxes in that country. So if I have a $100,000 income and I work in South Africa, I can pay South African tax and not U.S. tax. But anyway, so I don't know the answer on that one. Colonel, I'm off for cons. My husband is Cuban. Do you think we can still be? Yes. Does he live in South Africa? Does he have permanent residency in South Africa? Then it's probably not going to be a problem, Linky. It's based on you. Why did you marry Cuban? You don't have to answer that question. Did you like the sandwiches? I'm just teasing. Cuban sandwiches are fantastic. I'm unable to get a bursary based on race. I'm scared to go U.S. alone, but it's my best chance to go to college. Okay, awkward Leon. Why are you scared? What are you scared of? Please, tell me what you're scared of. She's asking about ID numbers, and yes, you do not need a friend of bridge. I don't know who she is, Andre. I don't know who that is, Andre. Desmond, got my unabridged birth certificate after 14 days. There you go. Mother and father number blank. Okay, there you go. If there was a case made against you, but the case was dropped, will it appear in your record? No. Why would a case be on there? It's not a conviction. Only conviction should be on your record. Do we just need the last one then? No, you need all of them. What are the things refugees often overlook that should be done or resolved? Oh, well, the first thing is they often overlook going to the US ZA Embassy, usembassy.gov website and clicking on the statement of interest and instead asking me, where's the website? That's the first thing they overlook. Yeah. Rebecca says, I really hope everyone who gets to go keeps in contact with Colonel White. He has helped us much. Oh, they don't, Rebecca. They don't. People already got their answers and they've pissed off and they're not even watching my program, man. My viewership is plummeting again. That's fine. Nobody's obliged to be here. Yep. But thank you for your concern. If applied at 1,400 hours on the 12th of May. Yeah, John, if you applied, what? Andres Miller says, why are you so aggressive? Am I hurting your feelings, Andres? Then hit the road. Am I hurting your feelings? Am I hurting your feelings? Really? So your life's not in jeopardy. You're just here for Kaffee Klatsch to hang out? All right, so Andres, how did I hurt your feelings? What did I do to hurt your feelings? Did I use a bad word? I'm 40 minutes behind in the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Are you not paying attention, Andres? Apparently, me speaking fast hurts your feelings. I'll slow down for Andres, folks. Hang on. Let's chill out here. Natalie, can you dim the lights? We want to get the mood right. There we go. Let's get the mood right for Andres. Can we play a little Luther Vandross in the background now? Apparently, I'm too aggressive for Andres. Yeah. Just a little too aggressive there. Yeah. I want to slow things down. Take it slow. Yeah, let's see if this is here. Yeah, let's slow things down.
Connor Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar.
Colonel
Wyatt, hear his call.
Hear his call.
Shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl.
I think that's enough of that. We're calm now. Better, Andres? Are we better? And Natalie, can you turn the lights back up? Natalie? There you go. Let's turn the lights back up. Okay, we've calmed down now. Accidentally selected 0 3 months, but realistically 3. Lucky Luke, then just tell him your circumstances changed. That's all. Just tell him your circumstances changed. Things change in life. It's not locked in stone. It's cool. Thanks for everything you've done, says Yolanda. You're welcome. My daughter was never married, but has 2 children with her ex-boyfriend. He doesn't want to help with documents for the children, doesn't want them to go with her. Can she apply? Darlene, you're asking a legal question. I'm not a legal scholar. I don't think it'll go well. Very selfish of the father there to leave the children there to be victims of, whatever's going to come. The issue with this is that you have to have the parents' permission because South African authorities won't let you leave the kids without permission. So it's a South African issue primarily. I don't know. I suppose you could try to fight for custody from the U.S., but that's a hard one. We have no jurisdiction over South Africa. So you apply for an unabridged birth certificate, then only you'll need to require to supply your parents. I don't know the answer on that one. Neil says, I've got a message that the third group refugees are ready to go. Is that true? Neil, from whom? You getting it from someone that says they're part of that group? Then you could probably believe it. If it's coming from the media, I wouldn't count on it. 2 kids with only my wife as a parent listed. Could I ask more information on what documents are needed for them and what stamps are required? Francois Glover, you have 2 children. I don't understand your question. Are those your natural children, Francois? If they're your natural children, then you're not going to have a problem. I don't imagine. When you say you have 2 children, you have 2 children with your wife and you're not listed in the birth certificate? Is that the issue? I'm guessing at what you're looking for here, friends. Oh, sorry, Andres. Is that too loud? Was that too loud? Did I speak too loudly? I'm sorry. Yeah, so I can't really answer the question, Francois, because I don't. You're out of space there, probably on text. So, passport took 8 days on a bridge certificate, 2 more months. Okay, Vlam, thank you for that. Charles Van Altson, and it got jumped right ahead. I was about to read Charles's message. Where did it go? Darn it. Wow, I'm way behind here. I was trying to catch up, but I got to slow down for Andres again. Okay. Can they trace my social security number? Yeah, they should be able to, Loretta, but I don't know the process. But it can be done, yeah. Go to the Social Security Administration's website and look at how to recover or do a Google search. How do I recover my Social Security number? Okay. I don't know why people are so casual with Social Security numbers. Apparently, as a foreigner, you didn't realize that it was important when you were here. Yeah. I still have numbers issued to me when I was in the country. Hey, Helen, how's it going? Didn't know you were gone. What is the reasonable amount of people located in the USA per year? 10 million? Well, no, you're asking a serious question. There is no reasonable amount. The United States can accommodate lots of people. We took in 162,000 unvetted Afghans in 3 weeks in 2021. So if we can do that, we can take in. We took in 300,000 Ukrainians in short order. So we can take in. Yep. Admire your patience, says Andrea. Loads of people coming into the chat asking the same questions. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating. But apparently I'm hurting somebody's feelings. Thank you. I appreciate that. What is Gideon doing here? Corne, I heard that you need your unabridged birth certificate in the USA for a green card. Yes, that's what I've heard. Yeah, so Corny, thank you. I didn't actually finish that thought earlier because I was interrupted. Yeah, I don't know why you need birth certificate to come because you just need a passport. I suspect you need to get your green card. And that's what I believe the case is. So, yep, I think you're right. Delia says, on February 8th, 4 unidentified armed men came to our home to intimidate us. We are state witnesses. The refugee program is our only hope. We have not been contacted. Our lives are in danger. Delia, so you're being offered no protection from the state. So why are you testifying for them? I wouldn't testify for a country that wouldn't protect me. I'm not trying to shoot the messenger, I'm saying. But yeah, thank you for the 200 Rand. If I were you, I'd relocate forthwith and screw them in their testimony. They're not offering you protection. Babita Deokran was assassinated because they didn't protect her. Angela Agrizi had to go in hiding because they didn't protect him. Love you, Colonel, even if we make you mad. You're not making me mad. My daughter's studying biokinetics, second year student. Will she be able to continue or does she have to? I don't know what the heck biokinetic is. What is biokinetic? Is that biology? Is that physiology? Sounds like physiology. And she's studying it where? At university, I presume, Bloodsholt. I assume we've got the best university system, large university system on the planet. Of course she can study at university, I assume, but you don't. There's not enough information there for me. I don't even know what biokinetic is. It sounds like physiology. Online job here in USA, and I'm busy with my honors here, so I'll still be able to do both. Well, we don't have honors, and that's not. We have advanced placement. I don't know what that means, Marley. But yeah, you're the best education system in the world. You can do whatever you want here. So, okay. Am I catching up on time here now? It's a tough one. The colonel is not in charge of the time it will take to get to the USA. Please be vigilant and perhaps move out of danger. Yeah. Delia, that's what I'm saying. If you're waiting, Delia, for the refugee program to get you out of South Africa to keep you alive and your life's in danger, then you're running a huge risk. You need to relocate. You got family somewhere, you got acquaintances somewhere where you can move to. If you're in Gauteng, can you move to the Western Cape? If you're in Durban, can you move to the Eastern? Something. I can't help you beyond that. Chris Matisse says, thank you. I don't think I answered your question. I don't see anything from Gideon. So if he's trolling, then one of the mods need to take him out. I don't see Gideon's messages here. Can they trace my old sister? I already answered that question. How am I getting back here in the chat? See, the chat just keeps coming backwards. Okay. Delia's story on X. Okay, how do I follow Delia's story on X? I don't know anything about it, bug out. Delia. How do I follow her on X? Let me look for that. I don't know her story. How do I not know her story, Delia? B-Y. There she is. I found it. Okay, I found her on X. Okay. Oh, she's following me. Okay. Magistrate, White River Magistrates Court. Okay. This isn't the story of the couple that fled from a funeral procession a couple years ago, is it? This isn't that couple, is it? Where's Gideon trolling? I still don't see Gideon over here anywhere. Gideon, if you're trolling, you're going to get spanked. Mods have authority. Oh, Chris Swanepoel's here. Okay, we do have some mods. Chris will spank you in a hurry. I couldn't care less about BE laws. Just want to see my children grow up, okay? Elmarie, you're very welcome. Thank you for your comments. Again, it keeps coming back that same message. Are someone posting that Social Security thing every time I turn around? Okay. Oh my goodness, I take my hat off to you for your patience. These idiotic questions does my head in, says Patrick Vivian. Yeah, well, and then I get accused of being aggressive and rude. Footsack, people say that. Anyway, when I get to the States, Chris, we'll have a beer. If I'm still alive after dealing with all this stuff. Garrett Mayer. I'm an agriculture consultant for 30 years. I want to farm. Do you think I can get some kind of financial help to help me get started in greenhouse farming and give my part economy? Well, Garrett, no, I don't know the answer to that question, but we do have small business administration and business loans. As far as help doing that, I don't know. That's heavy, capital intensive, so I'm not really sure the answer on that. But there are people in the agriculture community who probably do have answers on that. Did any of the first group, after receiving the search numbers, start working? I'm not going to answer that question, Rena. But yeah, they have. Did I just say I wasn't going to answer that question? It's funny. Where is Gideon at? Y'all keep bitching about Gideon. I don't see Gideon in the chat. Has Gideon hid me from seeing his comments? You think you're being clever? Gideon doesn't show up in my chat at all. Doesn't show up at all. Doesn't show up. Not once. Not once. Bear Mike says, don't worry, Colonel. I'll be a subscriber for your life. When Chris, after successful application, Wyoming, I just need to... Vilma Venter gave 10 memberships. Thank you for that. We're under a subpoena. We'll be arrested. So you have to stay where you're at and die? I don't understand what's going on, dealer. If the moderators haven't taken Gideon out for misbehaving, then that's on the moderators. I can't see Gideon. He's obviously tried to hide from me. Okay, so back to the chat. 307, now it's 319, so I'm 12 minutes behind. This guy's taking time and helping us. Don't be sensitive. Take his info seriously. Hey, Damien, how's it going? I realize he's not in charge of it. I'm just desperate to survive. Would love to know if there was a way to contact very real danger face. No, there is no way to change it. Chris Mattia is laughing. Oh, I guess this was from when I just kicked back. So stick with you, Colonel. Thank you, Mustard Olive. Oh, my soul, so slow. If a divorce more than 43 years ago, Max has died and remarried, you're going to need your certificates, yeah. Do we think there will be... That's the question's been asked half a dozen times in the last 20 minutes. Nina, are you not listening or did you just show up? Not that slow, says Jacques. That's not my song. That was done by a South African who lives in Spain. She did that. It was pretty cool. Can we ask to interview someday as a couple because the girlfriend has mentally disabled English struggled? Yeah, Charles. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you can ask about that. Can't put a price tag on this entertainment. Your hat is great. You like the hat, huh? Okay, cool. We will keep watching your channel even if we go to America. Yeah, you all say that now. You're always polite and professional, but tonight you're a bit... I was a bit what? What is OV? I don't know what OV is, Andres. Sorry. I'm trying to do my Barry White. Yeah. I can't do my Barry White, man. I have a good Barry White voice. You guys need to like, please. Yeah, please hit the like button. We haven't quite 1,000 yet. Okay. Hey, Lola. Thank you. Bookworm. Andres, I hope you're not mad at me here. I was having fun with that. Okay. Just calm down. Mild panic. Go watch the refugee videos. Yeah, I got 49 refugee videos prepared on these topics. Cowboy Wyatt owns Khandans. Ooh, let's do a little Calfoot Soki. Calfoot Soki, yeah. Should we do some Calfoot Soki, guys? Let's do some Calfoot Soki, yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually got shoes on right now, so it's not really Calfoot Soki. So, Emu, and Doug. Liberty Mutual commercial pops up there. Skip it. Sorry, Kurt Darren, a little Calfoot Soki there. Been told you can apply for birth certificate in USA. Not to my knowledge, Liz. I mean, can you apply for it from South Africa when you're in the U.S.? I suppose you can, but good luck getting it. Morris Marcia Rhoda says, you're amazing. Thank you. Did I miss something? The Telegram group is blowing up with people doing. Really? Wow. Let's check that out. Okay. How are we doing there? Telegram group. No, it's not blowing up. 2,900 members. 3,000. I've gained 64 people. That's not blowing up. Miss Mystery. I like that username. That's pretty cool. I've been told you can apply. Okay. Colonel, you're amazing. Okay. Yep. Colonel is a Rick de Boer. Thank you for that. Oh, my hat. Thank you for your patience. Dimming lights. Yes, that's my Boermeisie pickup hat. That's right. Tja, ja, ik is een Rick de Boer. Ja, Rick de Boer. Ja, ik is Koos de la Rey, die Orden van West-Transvaal. Not quite. Koos was bald. I'm not bald. Indicated in my statement of interest that all of us don't have passports, so my children didn't have passports. So I apply for the statement of interest again. Nope. You just apply for your passports, and hopefully you get them in time. If not, they'll have to sequence you for when you get them. We do need a green John Deere harvester on the table. Hey, Mad Max, how's it going, man? Wish I could press the like button more than once. People, please read the comments. Plenty of answers are already there from other people. Yeah, people, please pay attention. Love this Sunday Night Funnies, says Belinda. You did not hurt my feelings. Just not used to being so short. Oh, it's okay, Andres. Thanks for hanging around. It made for a lighthearted moment. Okay, I'm catching up here. There's a lot of comments here, folks. Technically, if you keep your South African citizenship, you would still be liable to file income tax. Yes, and let me be very clear about something, folks. You're not being offered U.S. citizenship. That's the misstatements going on, especially by leftists in the media. You're not being offered citizenship. We're evacuating you from a place where you're in danger because of unjust racial discrimination. That's what's happening. Whether you're Indian, colored, white, you're being removed from that danger. You're still a South African. You still have a South African passport. You're still liable for South Africa. But it doesn't affect us in America. We generously let you come here as a Somali, as a Burmese, as a Bosnian, as a Ukrainian, as a South African, to live here amongst us and give you special privileges that are reserved for Americans and permanent green card holders. All the rights and protections of the Constitution and our local laws and the right to work, which asylum seekers don't have. Yeah. So that's what's going on here. So you're still a South African. The only way you stop being a South African is if after 5 years here as a refugee, now in the first 12 months you apply for a green card for permanent residency. If you don't, you're going to be sent packing. Apply for the green card in the first 12 months, get permanent residency. And then after 5 years, if you've obeyed our laws and haven't become a criminal and want to become an American, you can apply, which is a faster route than most people. It doesn't happen overnight though. So until then, you're still a South African. You're just living in America. All right? Do I need an unabridged list of birth certificate? Duh, yes you do, Liz. It's been asked so many times. Common Sense appreciates my insight. You're very welcome there. More coffee. Certainly admire your patience, Chris. I would have already lost it. Yeah, Charles, thanks. Also be aggressive if I was asked same questions that have been answered more than once or stupid questions. Especially Desmond when I answered the question like 90 seconds ago. Okay. So funny. Okay. Thank you for providing us valuable information. Truly appreciate only following you and cutting out the others. Well, thank you, Yvette. I appreciate that. Tell other folks about me. I appreciate it. And please watch all my content. I mean, I just posted. Did I get it up? Let me see. It doesn't look like I've got it up. Hang on. I did. I just posted the video, which only has 274 views about South Africa. Oh, it's 765. Excuse me. 765 views about South African taxpayer paying 90 million rand to bring video-assisted refugee to professional soccer. So the Kaiser Chiefs are getting this for free. Why aren't the Kaiser Chiefs and Orlando Pirates paying for it? Why are taxpayers paying for it? It's professional soccer. It's not university. It's not parochial. Yeah, it's utter nonsense, but no one's watching that video. Anyway, if an elderly couple are unable to work, comes to U.S., the refugee program, will there be support? Some elderly people are scared they'll be homeless. No one will be homeless. Okay, Werner, let me ask you a question here. How many cases of refugees do you know of that have come to America that are living on the street? Do you know of any? I don't know of any. Elderly people? You think we only take 20-year-olds from Somalia? Do you think we only take 20-year-olds from Myanmar? This isn't directed at you, Werner. It's directed at the question, okay? So don't take offense. We don't bring people here and invite you into our home and then let you starve to death. That's just asinine and insane that anybody would actually think that. So let me ask this question, Werner. Do people think that filling out a statement of interest obliges you to come to America? No. Fill a statement of interest out. When you're called for an interview, go for the interview. Ask these questions. We want to come, but we're terrified that we're going to starve to death. Those people will be able to answer questions. Or you could simply watch Chris Wyatt's videos. Indaba, where's that? Come on. Where's the Substack? So, Indaba, I'll do it. It's a quicker way to do it this way. Let me just do it. Indaba Africa. So, Substack, Indaba Africa. You could just go to my webpage and watch all the videos that are applicable. And the one that talks about finances in particular for this. So here you go. So for those that don't know, here is the address of my Substack. And I just prefer you go to the playlist on my channel, but this just makes it easy for people that have a hard time or challenge on the internet. You can just go there. Look at that. Look at that. It's 31 May updated. Almost 50 videos. I posted this on March 9th. And there you go. 14 frequently asked Afrikaner questions. And then down here. All the way down here. Big warnings for South African refugees coming to America. Welcoming to America. Big news. Anyway, it's taking a while. There you go. Refugee program pause. Why refugees are they mad? There's an interview with this one's with Santana Hurley. Yeah, it's all there, folks. It's all there. So yeah. So Werners, there's money available. There's money that's put in there. So I don't have all the answers, but you can watch my video. It'll put you right tack. But put your statement of interest in. Go for the interview. If you don't like what they have to say I'm not interested. I'm done. I'll stay here in South Africa. There you go. Sumery, love watching your channel every day, all the time. I love your honesty, telling people it is hurt feelings. Keep it up. Okay, Anonymous Misty, you're going to go to sleep. Oh, did I put you to sleep, Misty? I'm sorry. Do you think the U.S. government is taking 1 month to see the total interest and then work? Nope, I don't, Napoleon. They have the total interest. They know what's going on. They got it from the first responses on the PRM emails. They're not taking anything. Where do you think they're taking a month for? People came here last week on Friday, week ago Friday, that we can confirm. So they've been here now for 9 days. So that means they came 31 May, which means they came 2 weeks after the first group came. Do you honestly think that those people were from that time? No. They were vetted prior to that. You remind me of a friend of mine from the military. Okay, common sense. Statement is exactly that. They'll obviously take into account that you update your documents. Yep. Turn the lights off and go. History jumps. Not sure if you got my message. I will ask in WhatsApp. Sorry, Loretta. I'm sorry I missed your message. Andre Books, get the popcorn out. Dim the lights. Change them at South End Bank. I'm so sorry for asking questions that someone might have asked. Could you please tell me the weight of our suitcase per person? Well, Elizabeth Scott, I can't tell you that because I don't know your means of travel or which airline you're coming with. United Airlines only gave me one bag at 23 kgs. Delta gives me 2 bags of 23 kgs. The normal international standard for that travel is 2 bags of 23 kgs. That's all you get. That's all you get. Now you look like a sheriff. Okay. Oops, the chat jumped again. Okay, I'm trying not to miss the super chats here that people put in here. There's a few of them. I'm trying to catch up. Boy, there's so much. Guys, there's a lot of messages in here. The chat rate is 21, which is pretty high. Okay. Colonel's well loved and gets several online proposals. Even the men want to marry me. I know this question seems silly, but not hearing back from the U.S. official in the program, is that in line? Yeah, Caroline Janssen, it's a fair question. I have answered in this program, but that's why we're here. There is no automated reply. You're filling out a Google form that goes to the U.S. government, and they access it from their account. You're not getting an auto reply from an email. That's what the PRM did. So you get no response. You'll get a response from them when they contact you. So it's not unusual. It's the norm. Do refugees qualify for Medicaid? Yeah, they will qualify for certain programs based on income. Once they start working, it's a different story. We're so excited for things to start happening, and Nadia dreams the American dream. Okay. Do you think the U.S. government... Okay, that was a 1 month. What's your opinion on Kansas? Quiet, lovely place. They have tornadoes there. If you're afraid of tornadoes... Why are everybody so afraid of tornadoes? That's why they make basements. You go in the basement. Did you not watch The Wizard of Oz? You go in the storm cellar. That's where you go. Don't worry about tornadoes. Kansas, I've been there. It's not my cup of tea. Christo's laughing. What's the best place for hunting, camping, fishing? Everywhere. Everywhere. There's hunting grounds located 3 kilometers from my house, or 4 kilometers away. There's hunting grounds this other way, another 6 kilometers away. There's a Pennsylvania State game lands. Anybody can go there and hunt. Yep, programs for those lives in danger, not those who want economic opportunity. Yep. No. Yep. That's why instead of just qualifying you the way they should have, now they're saying they have to give legitimate reasons. So if you're going to get turned down, if you're just an economic migrant, you're going to get turned down. You better have a legitimate reason or fear. Thank you, World Gone Mad, for the 100,000. Love the boar. Thank you, Lorraine. Gail Smith became a member. I missed that. Sean Ellerbeck, thanks for everything you do for us. 14 Rand. Thank you for that. Delia says, it was us that fled the police station where we were assaulted in 20. They have not left us in peace. Thank you for the fall. Yeah, Delia, I covered that story, but not to be confrontational with you. Thank you for the 100 Rand. I'm getting several people that tell me that I had bad information, that I portrayed that story wrong, that you weren't victims. I don't know. I'm just telling you what people are telling me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I did cover that story when it happened in your video. Saw that there's a few companies that apply for your birth certificates. Okay, how hectic will the interviews be? I don't understand what you mean, Wesley DeClerc. How hectic? How hard are they going to be? Well, if you tell the truth, if you tell Andres, that's the Colonel we know. Welcome back. Well, thank you. I didn't leave, Andres. You just took offense. How hectic? I mean, if you're telling the truth, how's it going to be hectic? I don't understand. Now Napoleon's trolling. What's going on here? Does anyone know where I can find the interview questionnaire? Well, it's in the Telegram and WhatsApp groups, which I just put out again in this broadcast. It's there. It's there, folks. Just go. Yep. 3,068 people. And Hendo's put some more information in there. And we're up to 3,068 people. We have friends in Utah who have offered to help us. We'll be able to be mentioned. Yeah, Valerie, you should mention that if that's where you want to go. And Utah's a nice place. It's not Wyoming. Yeah, so you should mention that. We have friends in Utah that are willing to help us. Is there any chance we can go there? You're going to have to give them their names, their contact information. You can legally transfer $1 million out of South Africa per annum under the Reserve Bank's allowance available anyway. There. Yeah. Thank you. You made my day, says Varushka. Okay. You can play by Kurt Darren. Okay. For context, and it's quite good, says Pearl Vitboy. Well, thank you, Pearl. Pearl, not to be curious, or if you don't have to share, but most Vitboys that I know are colored folks. Okay. I mean, church in the USA. Oh, about 1 billion. Can I wear cowboy boots? No, you can't wear Spurs anywhere. They're dangerous. Look so much younger. Thank you, DJ Charles. I do look a lot younger, don't I? Wait till the beard's gone completely. Mm-hmm. Well, I need a new cell phone. Not if you have a GSM multi-band cell phone. You'll be fine. But you probably have a block on your phone from your carrier, unless you have a region-free phone. I'm sure you hear this a lot, but we really want to say thanks and hope you know how much you appreciate it. Well, Daniel, thank you very much. You're welcome. Yep, my pleasure. Your voice isn't bass enough for Barry White. Oh, come on, Edward. I can do it. I met like a 4+ family of followers at Home Affairs when applying, but they all said they are applying for holiday. Smart move. Tell them you're going to Mauritius. Mauritius. Do I need to be alive to apply for FG Chris Sailors? Gideon was booted. Thank you. I remember you covered our story. Can't find link anymore. If your rides couldn't find it for me, it would be great. Yeah, it's there somewhere, Delia. I do. Yeah, I don't know where it's at, though. So tell my friends we showed interest in the program in 12 May, and we now just wait patiently. There you go. Excuse me. If the Colonel shaved the beard, he would get Ask ID. Yes, that's what I said the other day. I was at the Veterans Club. People were like, wow, you look 20 years younger. I said, well, thanks. I don't look my age. Folks, I'm okay, I'll admit it here, but I'll deny it later on. I'm in my 60s. Do you know that? I'm in my 60s. I don't look like somebody in their 60s. Wait till the beard's gone. Yep, I'm going to get carded at the bar. Afrikaners do not care about soccer. I know. But I don't have just Afrikaner viewers, Napoleon. Were you trolling earlier? Somebody was moaning about you. Daniel Brightside gave 100 Rand. Quick question on latest info. Is first point of contact call or email, the chicken or the egg? No, it's okay, Daniel. Thank you for giving 100 Rand, and thank you for this question. I don't know. I expect it will be a phone call, but a lot of people are like, I have bad signal here. I don't have that. That's why they ask for both pieces of information. They'll probably try to contact you both ways. Where do I find the Colonel Substacks that discuss finances for all? I just put it on there. I just put it on a few minutes ago. Okay? All right? Can I subscribe? What's this? My refugee online before passport. Yes, you can. Charles Carlson's. I wouldn't wait. Put your statement of interest on there. Don't wait for a passport. Sorry for asking so many questions, but how long does it take to build a good credit score? Arctic is not here. Arctic would know that. I don't know. My credit score has been built since 1982, so I don't know how long it takes. Arctic said you get about 6 months. I know that people who have credit problems can restore their credit. It takes a little bit of time. But yeah, just let me tell you something very quickly here about credit history in America and your credit score. Do not miss a utility payment. Do not miss a credit card payment. Do not miss a bank payment. Do not miss your rent. You will screw yourself royally. Your life is dictated by your credit score. I have an impeccably high credit score. I can go to a bank and get an interest rate half or less of what everyone else gets. I get offered money all the time that I don't want and I don't need because my credit score is so high. I am the gold standard sort of person that the banks want, that they want as a client, because I always make my payments, always make them on time, and I've done it for over 40 years, and they love that. So after about 6 months, you probably should be fine. I hope that answers the question as best I can. No problem asking that question, Hannes Olafir. My pleasure. Petra Myberg's here. Hey, Petra, what's going on? How you doing? Will you ever do an interview with Deborah DeRuchter? I don't know who Deborah DeRuchter is. Who is Deborah DeRuchter? Just ask questions so others will be comforted. I'm pretty sure they'll be okay. Okay, Werner. Well, I get asked that question a lot about elderly people. I also get a question, I'm 92, so I can't go. Of course you can go. I'm 2, I can't go. Well, a 2-year-old's not telling me about their parents are. Of course they can go. Doesn't matter. Good question. By the time I may not be alive. Okay. Starting to feel very embarrassed to say I'm South African wearing bracelets. So many people that I know have applied for the statement of interest. That's good common sense. But no. Nobody's itching this. A certain South African right of center Afrikaner has said that only the toothless, stupid, lazy, unemployable Afrikaners will apply for this. That's what I was told. It's on his webpage. Thanks for the... You're welcome, Mr. Echo. It's not me. Helen Troy. Colonel, thanks for the valuable info. Much appreciated. Please inform our new neighbors. Okay. Thank you, Conrad Huddenhuis. Okay, so people are not watching the videos. Nope, they're not watching the videos, Charles. I know that. It's pretty obvious from the questions. Yep. Hey, Ingrid's Inspirations. Annual limits is 1 million. Okay. Karen Robbie, I've been here a few weeks. What's your point? What's the point of applying when they're someone applying when they're deceased? What? He's being a smartass. Relax. You said that refugees have to apply for green cards within a year. What if you've already applied through a sibling and that's up for review in 2032? Well, then you already have one. So why would you have to apply? I don't understand your question, LSF. If you already have a green card and it renews in 2032, you don't have to apply. You have one. If you have a green card, then why don't you just come over? Unless you want refugee status, then stay there, get your refugee status, then come over. Gotcha. Renell! My goodness, where have you been? I haven't seen you in years. I got worried about you. I don't know why that clock's going to make you late, Christo. That clock is on Eastern Standard Time. Add 6 hours and you're good to go. Okay, we applied 12 May. My son today, we want him with us. He is 22 but lives with his dad. His father won't feed him properly. Hell, that's terrible. I understand that. 60, high stress, lack of sleep, and all the hard work must be your fountain of youth. Hey, Braveheart. Yeah, in my 60s, man. No, we just want car guards. We darn slowed you down just to speed. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about everything I've gone through. And like Mr. Trump, I bring receipts. Okay, Delia, happy to do that because I'm getting people that are refuting your story. I don't know where it's at. I just know what I reported on the time based on the information I had available. Passports, if you're in Centurion. Okay, trick is to go to the site. Okay, South African government seriously underestimates how many people actually want to leave. Oh, it's because they're in denial. They're in denial. Okay. I'm following a lady on TikTok that's in the U.S. She said one of the best ways to get a credit card at a limit of $500 and don't let it go over 30% of it. Well, Peter Funsale, the bottom line is you don't want to spend over 30% of your credit on credit cards to begin with. You got to spend some of it. You got to use your credit. Don't get a credit card and never use it. That doesn't build a credit history. Buy something, pay it off. Buy something, pay it off. Pay it off in full every time. Pay your bill in full. Now, so I have tons of credit cards. This wallet is full of credit cards. Look at that. Those are all credit cards. There's a whole bunch of credit cards in this thing. And I carry credit cards for convenience and ease. And also I get rewards coming back from them. I never pay interest. I pay them off in full every month. I don't spend money on a credit card unless I have the money to pay for it in my upcoming bill. So your debt will have to leave like that. What's this? US, we don't care about your debt in South Africa. It has no impact here. But that doesn't mean if you owe 10 million rand in South Africa, someone's not going to try to file a court case and come after you in the States. I don't know the answer to that. Is my message going through? QMan33, that one went through. What's the cost of green card application? I have no idea, Andrea. Just do a Google search. I don't need a green card. I'm an American. Why would I know that information? It's a legitimate question, but just do a Google search. Here, I'll do the Google search for you. What does a green card cost? How much for U.S. permanent resident card? There you go. All right. Generally ranges from $2,000 to $5,000. But refugees, if I'm not mistaken, don't have to pay that. I believe that's the case. Okay. Specific fees. The I-130 petition for alien relatives, $535. Online filing fee, $50. Can be affected by a number of other factors. Yeah. So. Card for okay. There's no fee required to apply for a green card if you're a refugee. There you go. There you go. Nothing. Talk about generous. Talk about generous Americans. Everyone else has to pay $2,000 to $5,000 minimum for their green card. You get it for free. For free. For free. Wow. Man, you guys just don't know how good you got it. Okay. Your South African debt will not affect U.S. credit score. Use driver's license or proof ID in the U.S. Typically, yes, Andrika Fundnikirk. That's usually what you do. Colonel's load. Hope he has a daughter. I want a rich, influential father-in-law, says Christo. Use a credit card like a debit card. Save, no interest, and build credit score. Exactly, bug out. Exactly. That's how I always use my credit cards. What are your thoughts on the 0, 3, 6, and 1 year points application? When they start? Peter, it depends when you can. Some people have businesses they have to unravel. Some people have property they have to unravel. Some people have families they have to deal with. Some people have an ailing parent who's near death and expected to live 3 to 6 months. So you're not going to say, I'm going to leave in 0 to 30 days if your parent's going to die in the next 6 months, unless you want to leave that burden to someone else. I can't answer that question for you. You have to make a decision yourself. Okay, what did Trump mean by speeding up citizenship? He didn't mean anything by it. He doesn't have the ability to speed up citizenship. Just stop relying on a comment or a Truth Social that has nothing. The program is announced. There's no speeding up citizenship. Trump misspoke. Just like he said, those are grave mounds. They're not grave mounds. They're crosses marking and highlighting the deaths of people who were murdered. There are no grave mounds where those were in Normandy back in September of 2021. That's not grave mounds. He misspoke. He misspeaks a lot. He misspoke about citizenship. He's not accelerating citizenship. He's accelerating getting people over here. He can't accelerate citizenship. Trump can't grant you citizenship any faster. Okay? Provisional taxpayer in South Africa where I can deduct work-related costs from income. If I work myself as a consultant, can I make those deductions in the U.S.? I have no idea what the hell that means, Mr. T. I'm sorry. I have no idea what that means. Can you deduct work-related costs from your income? Yeah, I do that for this. I've had zero income the past 2 years from YouTubing. Now, I've made money, but I've spent more building the business. So, deducted most of my expenses, which lowered my tax bill, but I didn't get that money back. It just lowered my tax bill. I'm adopted from a very small baby, so now I have no idea. My adopted parents don't have all the info. Rikus, I don't know what to tell you about that. You can ask them, put your statement in. We have nothing. If we come with just the clothes on our backs, what assistance will be there? Brendan, well, we've covered this in this broadcast. You're going to be flown over. I had to pay for my flight. You're going to be greeted at the airport. You're going to be picked up. You're going to be taken to where you're going. You're going to be put in a temporary housing. You're going to have food in there. You're going to have, there'll be financial assistance. And now please go watch my videos instead of asking the question in that video is in the list. Okay. I wonder the paying back of the airline ticket, will it help towards credit score? No, it won't, because the ticket normally is funded by the International Organization of Migration, which is the United Nations. The United Nations has nothing to do with U.S. credit scores. So no, it won't help you. I don't know if that's how it's being done now, but that's how it's normally done. Yeah, there are a lot of fake accounts pretend to be Trump. So, but Trump did say that himself. He said, I heard him say that. If you're a South African citizen but not born in South Africa, what must have... I don't know the answer to that, Winton Engels. Do you have a birth certificate from the country you're born in? That's what you need then. Okay. It's not a dumb question, G-Sor. U.S., not South African, any refugee can work for the U.S. government, provided it's not a classified position. There are some positions that are blocked. Yep. I don't know what to tell you about. You can't get on the Telegram. You're one of the few people. There's we had 2,900. Now we have 3,080. So 100 people have joined it. So I don't know why you can't get in. Some pension money. Would I like to use the U.S. to avoid burden U.S. government? You can transfer money over the U.S., but we've covered that already. Guys, I've got to go. My crabs will be ready in 13 minutes, and it's a 17-minute drive, so I'm going to be late for my crabs. Is 5,000 a good amount to bring? Synthly, that's not a lot of money. 50,000 would be better. You just have to disclose the amount you bring in. But just transfer the stuff. I wouldn't carry that kind of cash around. Transfer it online, unless there's huge transfer fees. Then do a little bit here, do a little bit there, do a little bit here. How long will the refugee program take to contact us? I don't know. You're obviously tuning in late. No one knows. No one knows, except somebody that's been contacted. Nobody's sharing that. I do know the people that have applied since the 12th of May have been contacted, and some have already done interviews. Medica Beach says, living in Pocatello, Idaho. My family would love to share a bride with the Twin Falls refugees. Can my family connect with them? You're going to have to contact me, and then I will reach out to them. I'm not going to disclose their information. I will give your information to them. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Contact me either through the email or the WhatsApp, and I will reach out to them, and I will give them your information. It's up to them whether they choose to contact you or not, okay? Because we got a lot of frauds out there, okay? You guys take care. All right, thank you so much. And we'll see you here. This is the first one. Did you guys like this? Should we do this again? Okay, start a poll. Did you find this session useful? And okay, so did you find this session useful? Okay, come on, typos. Find this session. Come on, F-I-N-D. Find this session. Okay. There you go. Okay, there's a poll. Answer the poll very quickly, folks, because I got to get going. If you can, there's a poll up, chance to vote. You're welcome, Rolinda. Join the WhatsApp group, so appreciate it, Chris. I don't know how you got in the WhatsApp group, AdCorp. No one can join the WhatsApp group unless you joined it previously because they're both full. Thank you. I'll try to enjoy my crabs, but I got to get out of here. So, okay, thanks for your patience. You're welcome, Zoo. Pen. Okay, 331 votes. Yeah, it's useful, and we're grateful. All right, please go join my @Real Chris Wyatt 2 on YouTube if you don't mind. Real Chris Wyatt on YouTube. Okay. There you go. @Real Chris Wyatt. That's on YouTube. Please join that channel as well if you don't mind. Okay, you will need 5 of these streams. I'm doing 5 of these streams a week. Not possible. 379 votes. I'll go a little bit further. We got 993 people here. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. I do appreciate it. To my knowledge, I'm the only one doing this right now. So, okay. I guess I'm too aggressive, Anders. I'm going to remember that one. Yeah, let's hit the like button. Okay, 400 votes. I'm going to wrap it up there. 98% said it was useful. Okay, well, then I guess that's a pretty good number to go with. Okay, we'll do it again then. 2% found it not useful. Oh, gosh, what were you expecting? A fish course? You found it not useful? That's interesting. I'd love to know why it wasn't useful. Is that the trolls? I mean, because it's okay to find it not useful. I mean, I find a lot of things in life not useful. So anyway. All right, guys. Catch you later. Thanks. Cheers. My 3rd broadcast day. I'm out of here. Ciao.